I'm having a quick conversation with the Holy Spirit. I remember that day. I'll never forget it. I remember crying my eyes out, like saying, God, you must hate me. You took this, you took that, you took this.
God actually stripped you bare.
Naked. My time and God's time is not the same thing.
What is there to be ashamed about with that? Why are you trying to hide?
Okay, I've actually written my eulogy. God, please don't let me enter prostitution because I'm going to do it well. Please.
So for the laugh.
And I'm not going to shy away from it. If I'm into that line of work, you will know that I'm into it. I will tell you.
If Imaulé was a love letter, who would it be addressed to? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Legacy and Labour. I'm your host, Agnes Yoande, and today I am joined by a multifaceted babe, a trailblazer, an inspiration, a woman who grabs life by the horns and literally goes after whatever she wants. Somebody that I feel so privileged to talk to you today. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, and welcome Aminat Sule, the founder, creative director of Imaulé. Round of applause, please, now. Clap, 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 clap. Thank you. Aminat, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for honouring this invitation to come and speak about your experience as the creative director of Imaulé and also as a firstborn daughter. So before we get into it, I have like a little icebreaker called Lagos today or London tomorrow. So these are some quick fire questions. You don't need to think about it too much and we're not going to discuss the answers. But the first one is being called Madame in VI or Babes in London?
Madame.
Okay. Small chops or small talk?
Small chops.
10k in Selfridges or 10m in Balogun Market?
10m in Balogun Market will probably get me further.
Okay. Jollof at home or jerk on the high street?
That's a hard one right now. Jerk.
2 seconds.
Not on the high street though.
Okay, but jerk chicken or jollof at home?
In Montego Bay.
Okay, so jerk from Montego Bay.
Yeah.
Okay. Firstborn forever or baby girl for life?
Firstborn forever.
Legacy through law or labour of love?
Still trying to figure it out.
Okay. And bonus question, what's the wildest thing that Lagos has taught you but Brixton never could?
It's impossible until it isn't, but that was both Brixton and Lagos.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, so I actually want to start from the top. You are the firstborn daughter from both parents in a Nigerian household. London born, Brixton bred. You out of that Brixton, you became a lawyer. Well, you're still a lawyer, a consultant, a political activist, and now you are the creative director of an ethical fashion brand that you started here in Lagos, Nigeria, but with a worldwide reach. And my first question to you is, what do you want people to learn from you today?
It's impossible until it isn't. And you just have to trust God along the way, even if it doesn't sound like it's directly what you're supposed to do. You just have to trust God. And your life needs to glorify more than just you. Your life needs to benefit more than just you. So I think I'd like to hope that my journey and sharing it and us talking about also your journey, it encourages people to just trust in God's plan and makes people understand that their life isn't just to benefit them and people who are immediately around them.
Okay, so you've actually spoken about, not trusting God's plan and how long it actually took you to finally give in to God and say, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith and really answer what you're calling me to do. I mean, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But my first question to you is, when you think of the word legacy, what's the first memory that comes to your mind unfiltered?
It's not... Okay, I've actually written my eulogy.
Oh.
Yeah. I've written my eulogy. I'm very reflective. I have journals for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
So I've written my eulogy because I wrote out how I would like people to be... How I would like people to remember me at my funeral.
Yes.
And I've kind of given people instructions as to how my funeral needs to go.
Okay.
And I've addressed those instructions in my eulogy already. And it helps me to make sure that I live a particular life because of how I'd like to be remembered.
So it's keeping you accountable. That eulogy is keeping you accountable. It's making you intentional. I know that is probably, I would dub that as your word for this season.
Yeah.
Intentionality.
Yeah. definitely.
So it's making you intentional about what exactly it is you want to do, how you want to live your life, and something that you want to be able to look back on and say, you know what, I ticked off this box and I did it and I'm really proud of myself.
I think more so it's how I made people feel. It's not necessarily what I've done or what I've achieved. It's how I've made people feel. That's what's really important.
And do you feel like in this current season that you are really able to say, you know what, I've made this person feel like this and I'm really happy that I've done that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, can you give me an example of that?
Not right now, but it's just in my everyday, in my interactions, even in the interaction we're having now. I'd like to believe that, like, anybody that's listening to us will hear and know that, like, it's not about your titles. It's not about your achievements. It's not about who you know, where you've been, but more so about the people that you impact along the journey.
Yeah.
And I feel like just via conversations that I have with people, whether or not it's my staff, whether or not it's my friends, my family, or even strangers, I'd like to believe that after having a conversation with me, you leave feeling like impossible is nothing. And when I'm praying for people, I always say, may our legacies outlive us.
Wow. May our legacies outlive us.
Yeah.
And when you say that to them, like, how do they usually feel about that? Do they come back to you and say, like, what you said, like, that really inspired me or that really pushed me?
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of us are living life based on our own means and our own understanding.
Yes.
So, like, you'll think of an idea, right? Or, like, God will put something in your spirit to do.
Yes.
And then you won't necessarily... You'll think about it within your capacity. But your capacity is nothing in the grand scheme of things. My capacity is nothing in the grand scheme of things. And when you dig deeper into it and you dig deeper into self and you dig deeper into understanding what your purpose is, your purpose will always honor God. It will always glorify more than it glorifies yourself if you do your purpose well.
But then wouldn't you say that, well, I personally think that not everybody knows how to dig deep into self and actually find their purpose. So how have you been able to do that? Because I know that, you know, you took moments where you kind of just went into your solitude and you just really sought the face of God and you were like really seeking to hear from God and you really tried to discover who you are, what your purpose is. So how were you able to do that? What were the practical things that you did? Because somebody listening to this might be like, okay, I want to do that, but I don't know where to start from.
Yeah, I think I took a lot of time offline. I was in St. Lucia for a few months and I took time to just really take time with God. Like, I lived a very mundane life. Will Smith talks about it in his book, right? And he went to one of the Caribbean islands and he spent time with the locals and he was just living like them. And I did something very similar in St. Lucia. And I really got to really understand, like, life isn't that serious. Like, people are genuinely happy with the least that you, and because we live such a fast life and we're living in the era of social media where we're consuming so much of everybody else's life, we can't really distinctify our own voice anymore. And I think that's a huge factor. And I think it takes control over self.
Yes.
I came off social media. I went on a social media hiatus because I was like, actually, before social media, what was we doing?
Yeah.
Because we were playing outside.
Yes.
We were going to the library. We was reading books, consuming other forms of content.
Yeah.
And I think social media is fantastic. It's a great tool and it's helped people generate so much income and, you know, exposure. And this platform, fantastic. People are going to consume it.
Yeah.
But even me speaking right now, you're consuming my thoughts, my ideas, my ideologies. Like, when do you ever have time to just sit down and think about what you actually think or go to the library, pick up a book, read the book and consume what you think based on what this author has researched and wrote, rather than someone just picking up a mic and coming on social media, sitting and just chatting away.
Yeah.
There's no vetting. No. There's no research. There's nothing that acclimatizes to this point. And I think those were the things that I realized, and it made me think, you know what, I need time to really think about, one, what God is calling me to do.
Right.
Two, the legacy I want to leave behind. And three, like, what my life looks like if I just trust him. And I did all three of those things and it helped me to kind of get to this place where I am now.
So what year was it that you were in St. Lucia and you basically stripped everything away and just said, you know what, God, it's just me and you right now?
2024.
2024.
Last year, yeah.
Right, last year, 2024. And you didn't make that decision to come to Nigeria until January. Well, let's say end of 2024. So if you were in St. Lucia at that time and, you know, you were really praying to God about your purpose and what do you want me to do? What's my calling, etc. Why were you so stubborn and resistant?
Because I'm disobedient and I'm a lawyer. Okay,
but you knew that this is what God has called me to do. Like
I said I'm disobedient.
But why were you being disobedient?
Because I just didn't understand why I could have climbed. Like I had so many successes that I had rightfully earned, and so many titles that I had rightfully earned.
Yes.
I couldn't understand why I was supposed to stop that to go and run a linen business in Nigeria.
Right. But then the thing is, right, so this is 2024 when it's basically you telling God, it's me and you now.
Yeah.
And God is giving you the direct answer, right?
Yeah.
But you got this vision in 2020.
Yeah.
So why was it so...
I was busy.
So you were busy on your time.
Yeah.
Okay, so during that time, like during the 4 years, was there like a time where you were like, maybe I'm not supposed to be here?
No, I was having the time of my life. Everything was great. It was the greatest times of my life.
Right. But
I was making money. I was traveling the world. I was living life. Like, I was at every celebrity party.
My God.
I chopped any facility you want to even think of. Like, my friends would call me and the dial tone would be different at each time. I was in London in 2023 for maybe 10 weeks of the whole year.
10 weeks of
in total.
Okay, so I can actually understand why you're just like me, leaving this behind to go and run a linen business in Nigeria.
Yeah, just like...
I can understand why it's not making any sense. But then what was that encounter that you had that you were finally like, I have to stop running now. Like, I genuinely need to stop being disobedient. What was that encounter?
So I had applied for like 1,000 jobs plus.
Yeah.
I had gone through like 6 rounds of interviews for multiple different roles and I just wasn't making any headway. Then I applied for fashion school. I got into fashion school.
What made you apply for fashion school?
Because during this time, it wasn't that I was completely disobedient. I was like learning about the industry. So I was doing like luxury marketing courses on the side. I was spending time thinking about the brand, looking at brands like Goyard, looking at case studies of Laura Piana, LVMH, how it was formed, Chanel. Like, I was genuinely investing time into understanding the market that I was going to go into. So then I applied for fashion school. I got into fashion school and I was upset.
I was upset because you got into fashion school.
Yeah.
So you just applied for fashion school for vibes. You're just let me just do it whilst I'm applying for these jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got into it and then now you're upset.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I didn't do it properly.
Oh.
So like I didn't take it as seriously as I should have because I was upset because I felt like I was applying for jobs that I was qualified for and I couldn't get that. But then I could get what I was unqualified for. So it was just rattling me.
So did you not see this as, okay, this is God pointing me in this direction, or was that stubbornness still like really deeply rooted in you?
I'm a firstborn.
Okay. So that stubbornness was still going, right?
Yeah.
So you've applied for fashion school then.
So I applied for fashion school. I was spending a lot of time going to New York and like building the brand, doing fashion school. And then I remember it got to like the end of the year.
Yeah.
Sorry, my sister-in-law is a pivotal person in this story because July 2024, she said to me, Ami, you're not going to get a job. I feel like God's taking you another direction. Hello, hi, just hold your lips because I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I need a job. I have plenty bills to pay and I need a job. So all of this stuff that you're telling me, God has a word over my life, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Then December came now and I remember there was this one job in particular that I was so sure I was going to get. So I was in her living room on the 27th of December, 2024. And I said to her, so yeah, there's this one job, I think I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's very likely.
So sure in
I was so
yourself.
sure based on, also, not even based on just myself, based on the people who had introduced me to the role.
Wow.
And the role was also like for the last role that I had did.
So this was your connections.
Yeah, it was
and
my
so
connections.
Basically, they were walking you into that office and basically being like, yeah, we put her here. Yeah.
Yeah. So then in her living room, let's pretend this is the living room.
Yeah.
So I just pick up my phone, see the rejection.
Oh.
And I tell her, and she's like, well, I told you, like, this is not what you're supposed to be
She
doing.
was tired
like,
at this point.
Yeah, literally.
She was
Like, why are you? And I was like, so how am I going to afford, like, you need to explain to me how this is all going to work. And then I was like, God, I need crystal clear, unequivocal signs.
But then my thing is,
those weren't signs.
How to you? Those were not signs.
Those were not signs.
Okay,
those were not signs. You're asking me,
the fashion school wasn't a sign,
babe. You know I've lived in Nigeria before. I've worked in Nigeria before, so this is now my second time coming back to do something completely different to what I know, the lay of the land that I'm aware of. I did politics and law when I lived here last. I was rewriting constitutions. You want me to leave rewriting constitutions and travel in the world as an entertainment lawyer to come back to start a linen brand? Do
you know what it is? I feel like if you were to explain that to someone, they'll be like, so you will leave law to go and be a tailor? Because like to the mind that doesn't understand how God moves and how like God is not a respecter of a person, that's exactly what it is. Because think about it, if you were to say that to an African parent, they'll be like, you want to go and sew clothes? Upon the amount that you spend, because you went to ULaw as well, you did the BPC course. That's not cheap. So imagine explaining to your parents now that, oh yeah, I want to leave like my wigs and my robe to go and be pressing sewing machine.
Okay,
imagine. So I can understand.
Imagine.
I can understand where the stubbornness and the resistance is coming from, because when you actually deepen, when you actually break it down, especially like from our culture as well, it would just be like, so why don't you just do that from the start? Or why don't you do that as a side hustle? Like, do you have to leave the law? So now you're asking God for, give me as in you're basically saying to God, now I want you to come and stand right in front of me and tell me that, you know what, let's go. So then what happened after that?
So at this point, it's time for crossover service at this point. So it's 27, past 27. I'm like, God, you need unequivocal, clear signs, time for crossover service. And then crossover stuff is coming around. My friends were like, oh, come to our church, TLC. Like, you need to come to the church. It's a great church. Come for crossover service. Also, this is my first time being in London at this time of year in God knows how many years. Maybe like in the last 6 years, I think.
That's a long time.
So I hadn't actually spent a crossover service in London. I was always in Nigeria. No matter where I was in the world for the last 6 years, I would always make it to Nigeria for crossover service. This is my first time doing crossover service in London for a very long time. So I was like, okay, cool. Where's the spirit at? Where's God going to be this year? So then I went to TLC, and then this beautiful lady was like to me, oh, your business is going to do really well in Nigeria. You need to go to Nigeria. I'm like,
you're looking at her like, where do I know you from?
Excuse me? And then she was insistent, and I was just like, okay, cool, I've heard, no problem. And then after that, things just started to really align for me to go to Nigeria. Like, things were just really aligning very, very fast. I remember, like, even me coming up here, I had like a standby. I was flying standby. Okay. Because I couldn't afford to like get a flight to Lagos at a normal price. So I was flying standby. Then I remember like telling my friends, I don't even know what day I'm going. I might not even go to Nigeria. Like, my house is a mess. Like, I'm packing, I'm living, not like my flat is a mess. I'm just like not really sure what's going on. Anyways, not only did I end up flying to Nigeria, I ended up flying to Nigeria in business class.
Can you imagine?
Normally my life is like, God has made me fortunate. Even in all that year of unemployment, I was traveling every month. Wow. In my 1 year of unemployment, I was traveling every single month. Like, I didn't miss a beat of traveling. My lifestyle didn't change. Like, people will be sending me memes that I want to be your type of unemployment because your type of unemployment looks like fun employment. So anyways, I ended up traveling to Lagos. My flight was upgraded at the airport. I was meant to fly premium. I ended up flying business. And that was just like the first step of like God showing me, don't worry,
I've got you.
I'm by your side. You're going to do this. And I got into Lagos on the 25th
of January
2025. And I remember literally going to the house to get ready to drop my stuff and getting ready, going right to production on the same day.
You didn't even say, let me just like rest. You were like...
I didn't see no friends.
Wow.
Like, I've only just started seeing my friends. I didn't see any... I wasn't here for anything. I wasn't here for no play and joke. God, you've uprooted me to do this thing. I want to do it so I can hopefully get back to finding a job. Yeah. Right? Okay. Like, I just want to do this thing. So when they're talking about, have you tried everything? Yes, I have tried everything. God told me to do X. Yes. I uprooted my life. So anyways, I get to Lagos, and within 12 weeks, in Imaulé launched on April 29th.
Yes, and you've sold in 5 out of 7 continents. Like, you've even broken even as well in 3 weeks. I feel like that deserves a round of applause. Round of applause, please, 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 please. Because for your obedience and for taking that bold step, God has to show up. Like, God has to show up. The fact that you're even publicly speaking about it as well, like, it's evident that God is in it. But along the way, like, did you ever feel scared? Like,
Choking me.
Okay, so when was the first time that you felt scared? Like, you were just like, okay, God, should I just go back to London real quick?
I haven't ever spoken about this beyond like my friendship group. Sorry, I'm having a quick conversation with the Holy Spirit.
Let the Holy Spirit direct you.
I got to Lagos on the 25th.
Yeah.
And I was actually seeing someone that I thought I was going to marry.
Oh.
Right? Mm-hmm. The plot twist is that person broke up with me on the 28th of January.
Did he know why you were in Nigeria?
Oh, no, he was completely cognizant of it all.
Okay.
On the 28th of January. And I remember saying to him, I don't feel like I can do this Lagos trip without you. Like, I just don't feel like I can do it without you being in my life. Like, I really, really don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Like, I'm going to need you by my side for this. And God was just like, oh, pluck.
Yeah.
You don't need him. Yeah. You only need me.
That was going to be a distraction.
I'm me alone.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to myself, okay, it's the 28th of January. I remember that day. I'll never forget it. I remember crying my eyes out, like saying, God, you must hate me. You took this, you took that, you took this.
God actually stripped you bare.
Naked. You know the cry that I cried? I cried a naked cry. Have you cried a naked cry before when you're butt naked and you're crying? Bro, I felt like God hated me.
I could tell that cry came from like deep within the soul. Like, you're probably crying in anguish, like in pain.
Not only do I have this cry, I've got video evidence of all the cries I've cried. That I've got video. No, I've documented this whole process because one thing about me is I try to keep it real with people as much as possible and to be transparent, because I feel like a lot of the time you're seeing people online and you just don't know what they're going through. And I feel like if we were all a lot more transparent, it would make it easier for people to succeed, because you know what people are going through. You don't think it's you alone.
Yes.
So I'm like, I remember saying to, like, it was the 28th of January. I cried for 4.5 hours. Yeah, 4.5 hours. I needed to get it all out. Then it was at 1 p.m. I went to go and get my nails done. And I said, this is where the cry stops. Like, I have a business to run. I have a business to build. I can't even financially afford to be sad. Do you know what it means to not be able to... I said, this sadness is costing an amount.
Yeah.
And the person that I'm sad over right now is on Wolf of Wall Street making the bag. So I can't afford to, as in, like, am I crazy? In Lagos, I'm going to be crying, like, over a man. I have a business to build. Like, so I built, like, the honest and the real truth is, because I said I was always going to keep it real. I was always going to share my journey. Like, and I always wanted people to look at Imaulé and know that God truly exists as a result of this. And, like, that means me sharing this. Like, I built Imaulé heartbroken. Wow. Heartbroken.
That brings it into a whole different perspective, like a whole different, like, especially because you've achieved so much in 12 weeks that some people are still trying to achieve in 12 years. Like, that's not easy, but then it's because you said yes to that call and you were able to let go of what God was taking away. And I feel like if it was somebody else, they would have said, you know what, the business can wait. Let me at least sort this out. Because marrying someone it's like, you know, like, we're at this age where we want marriage, like, we want kids and all of that stuff. So how were you actually able to be like, you know what, I'm fine walking away from this?
Because I felt like I knew that God, like, do you know, I've got to the point in my life where I'm like, I'm documenting so much. I've documented tears. I've documented uncertainty. I've documented in places where I know we're going to have storefronts. Yeah. I've got video entries. I've got video entries for my future children. In this time, I've recorded, I was in Mykonos last year and I remember being in the villa and I was like, children, right now I am unemployed. I'm in Mykonos having the time of my life and I'm 26 years old and I'm not really sure what life looks like from here. But I just want you to know, I was thinking about you. Before you came and I'm working really hard to be able to give you holidays like this. And if you ever find yourself in this season of not knowing, like you're unemployed or you're not sure, you're in your 20s, just know that I was here too. No matter what I'm telling you now, know that I was here too. So for me, all of this is a big, God, you say you're God, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I'm setting you up. I'm setting you up to show not just me, but everybody publicly and everybody that knows me, experiences me, that you are real. Because who better to be a guinea pig than I?
Then, yeah. No, this one, you're really holding God by his singlet and you're saying...
No, by the cloak of his garment.
No, because you're really like, this one, you actually have to show up and you have to show out.
Yeah. Like anything you've given me, you can take and give me times 10.
Yes.
So like if God takes something away, his promise is that he is a God of restoration, that he restores.
Yes.
So at the fact that he restores, why am I scared to lose what was never mine?
Wow. That one is deep. Like, so if we go back to the heartbreak, right? And you know that, okay, God has taken this away and it's time for me to just do what God has asked me to do and not really focus on that. I mean, you cried for 4.5 hours and all of that stuff. So going forward, what would you do differently? Not just when it comes to that heartbreak, but when it comes to letting go of what God is basically saying, this is not going to serve you.
Listen, I am very stubborn. I'm aware of it. God is working on it. Yes. And I'm stubborn to the degree that, like, I was still applying for jobs as I've been in Nigeria building this business, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it got to, like, when Imaulé launched, I had like 4 different people say, why haven't you posted on LinkedIn? And I was like, because they was like, do you think this is a side hobby or something? And I was like, yeah, I want to get back to applying for jobs. I don't want to, interfere with my like job applications.
But can I ask you, have you ever thought about whether God doesn't want you to be an employee anymore, but actually an employer?
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that now. I have been aware of that for a very long time. But once again, like I liked the idea of, I was making 6 figures in my last roles.
Yeah.
Like combined, I was comfortable in 6 figures, and I was like, I like what I know. This is familiar to me. Okay. Now you've brought me to 0.
Okay.
And maybe even minus if we're being totally real. Like you've taken me to minus. So I want to go back to where the 6 figures were. But obviously God has called me to do way more. It's not even about the financials. It's about like what God has called me to do. And like even things like, I've made covenants with God as to particular things I wanted to do with this brand, and by the launch we was able to do that, which was pay the school fees of all my artisans, the children of all my artisans. That's one thing that I'm not meddling with. So putting them through scholarships is something that's really important. But God was kind of like to me, you're using LinkedIn for the wrong reason. Like go and put Imaulé on LinkedIn. So I posted on LinkedIn this morning before I came here.
Congratulations.
That is the biggest round of applause. Because that was really difficult for me, because that meant me showing my entire professional network
that you had pivoted essentially. But what is there to be ashamed about with that?
I don't know if it's shame, but it's just like...
Why are you trying to hide?
I don't know. Is it hiding? Is it hiding because I'm scared that like... No, I don't even know if I'm scared of failure. I need to sit with this thought and really understand it for myself.
Right.
But I think that I was really like trying to make sense of the fact that I'm no longer doing law.
Yes.
And now I've gone into this thing. I'm ruining my chances of what is, do you know what I mean? I'm basically telling people, hey, I've gone into entrepreneurship. Now no one's definitely going to hire me. Now,
says who?
I don't know.
Says who? Who says that you're ruining your chances? How do you know that people won't respect you even more because they can see that you've left law behind? This is not something that you will ever forget. You have that experience. You've built that legacy as a lawyer, as a barrister, etc., as a politician. So how do you know that people will not respect you more because you're building another legacy?
It just feels a bit confusing.
But what? Confusing to who?
To me, myself.
Okay, so confusing to you, but how do you?
I guess God isn't a God that like also that we his ways are not our ways,
absolutely
right?
Not.
So like I'm just learning to dwell in the fact that his ways are not our ways. But that was my last bit of control,
right?
That I felt like I had over my situation, which was at least people on LinkedIn, my professional
they see
network,
me as a lawyer,
that they see my experience and it's not this, right?
Do you think that form of control comes with that legacy of being a firstborn daughter?
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
So what do you think this season has taught you to let go of to be this new different version of Aminat?
Bro, I'm not in control, I'm not like...
How does it feel not being in control?
I'm learning to become comfortable with it. I'm learning. Like today was like, I'm gonna have to journal about today. That was a big thing, me posting on LinkedIn. I'm serious. That's like when people are like, like you've done this, like how do you feel? You should be so proud. Like, you know, you've turned over X in just like, first of all the money that I've turned over, I haven't seen because it's gone right back into the business. I haven't seen a dime. I haven't even had a lifestyle change because of it.
In 12 weeks, to be able to break even and it going back into the business, that's a fantastic achievement. Like, it just shows you that this year alone, you don't know how much you'll be able to make for yourself to actually experience this lifestyle change, as you are saying.
God is in control, Sha. But what I was trying to say is that, like, the whole thing about control is something that, like, I'm learning to live with and learning to understand that, like, my time and God's time is not the same thing. And, like, I'm learning to become a daddy's girl to God. Like, I'm learning to be like, do you know what? Like, I was in church on Sunday and the guest pastor was saying that she spends so much time with God in the morning that by the time she steps out into the day, 6 out of her 10 things is already done, because that the Holy Spirit has just orchestrated her day in a way where it's like she's got a call to do 1, 2, and that's ticked off the first few things on her to-do list. And then the rest of it, she just chills. And I was just like, wow, what a peaceful life that must be. So I really want to experience that level of like, okay, I've spent so much time with God, I now have spiritual and creative intelligence, and I can just execute really fast. And it's not because of anything aside from spiritual intelligence. Do you know what I mean? So I'm really learning to get to that point of, I don't really know. Like, oh, so where are you going to be in October? I don't know. Where are you going to be? And I used to be able to tell you, oh, in October I'm probably going to be in Milan. Oh, and this month I'm going to be here. Oh, and this month I'm going to be in Miami. This month I'm going to be in New York. I can't tell you anything. I'm just taking the days as they come.
Wow. And what's that like, just relinquishing that control to God?
I'm not in a position to talk about that yet because I'm still struggling.
You're struggling. You're still tussling.
Yes, I'm still tussling. Maybe today I broke free. I don't know, but like it's still something that I'm working through. I'm not at a point where I can discuss it and say that like this is the reward of it completely, because I'm still in that tug of war season, if I'm being completely transparent.
But wouldn't you say that, being able to send, your employees' children to school, like that is already a reward that you're seeing from that? Like that's a legacy that you have already built in 12 weeks. Like, can't you say that you're seeing some of the rewards already?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I need to sit with... The honest truth is I haven't sat with myself.
Right.
So I've been working. So this is the hardest... I've worked 2 full-time jobs.
You worked as the head of equality for the bar standards, and then you were the entertainment lawyer as well at the same time. So I can imagine.
That wasn't hard in comparison to this. This is the hardest thing I have ever done. And maybe because of the intensity as well.
Yeah.
And like, as I said, like 12 weeks, that's, people have like... I was working like a dog with a bounty on her head. Like I've never worked so hard. And I think I haven't had time. I keep telling everyone my birthday's in July. So I will probably take stock around that time and just take time to just reflect and sit with God and really understand like, okay, this is what we've been able to do in this season. But I haven't taken stock yet. Wow. So I don't really know what's success. Is this success? Is this, how do I measure success? How do I see success in this thing? Do you know what I mean? How do I quantify success in this walk of life? I don't really know that yet.
So what would be the next achievement for Imaulé in the next 12 weeks? So in 12 weeks time, what do you want to be able to say, yeah, we did that? Not we did that, but God did that, and it wasn't by my might.
What do I want to be able to say? I mean, we're looking at an international pop-up.
Okay.
We've been approached by a few people to be involved in pop-up, so it would be nice to say that we've been able to do that in the next 12 weeks by God's grace. And just like, do you know what it is? I just wanted Imaulé to be the vessel so people would know that God existed. Like God, like even people who are just not in faith, or people who are like not of the faith, to really just know that, just trust in that thing that is telling you, do this. Like it sounds really quiet, but like I really want Imaulé to only be successful simply to honor God, and also to honor that little voice in people's mind or that people hear, and it's like, oh, just try this, and it's like, nah, I don't want to try it. It doesn't make sense. No, try it. It doesn't make sense. Try it. It doesn't, like, I need people to just, I feel like life would be so much easier if we all just did what God told us to do.
Do you feel like you've been able to achieve that so far by documenting your journey online?
Yeah, I definitely think so, yeah.
You do?
I think so, yeah.
I think you have as well.
I think so. I'd like to hope so.
I think you have, because I feel like me and you sitting here, just you actually putting out that video about intentionality, this is the result of it. So I want to say that you actually, like, you documenting that journey, you showing people that just listen to that little still small voice, and so much can come out of it. So I think, again, when it comes to building your legacies, even though it's only been 5 months or so, like from, okay, let's say like 4 months since the 25th of January, you probably don't know how much, or I guess the kind of bondages that you speaking about your journey has been able to break. So just taking that into consideration, like, my next question would be, if Imaulé was a love letter, who would it be addressed to?
Who would it be addressed to? Probably like my little sister.
Okay.
My little sister, my little brother. My little brother's a creative. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like he's like he's like a he works at an art studio, and he's doing really well. He works for like a New York art studio. He's really into design, and he's also an artist as well.
Yeah.
And he's about to put out an EP. He's fantastic.
Oh, that's so good.
And then my little sister has just recently got into TikToking, and like she's been able to acclimatize such a huge following in such a short time, and like just do what that just be great. Like, don't worry about the linear things. And to anybody who like is going through life and you kind of feel like, oh, it should, and I went to study this, I finished here, I graduated here, so by natural default I should end up here. Like, forget that all. Like, truly just tap in, lock in to what you feel you're supposed to be doing, not what everyone around you feels that you're supposed to be doing, not what the world tells you you're supposed to do. Lock in, like full will lock in. You don't want to get to like 40 and you've lived a life that is not yours.
I say that all the time. So as a firstborn, like, what did you have to do? How did you have to build yourself to actually say, you know what, I'm not going to focus on the outside voices. I'm not going to focus on what everybody is telling me to do and the expectations that they have of me, but I want to focus on the expectations that I have of myself. How were you able to do that?
Because I had already done it all. I was the star child. Like, I was a star like, I was bragging rights. My parents had bragging rights over me. Like my pedigree, my experience, the rooms, I'd been in rooms with presidents. I've done so much by the grace of God, and only by the grace of God.
Yeah.
I have followed the T. I have gone to school. I have worked in several industries. I've done it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I did it. And it still wasn't going to get me a job. It's still, with all the titles, with all the people that I have access to, it wasn't enough. You can't tell me that wasn't God. Guys, I applied for M&S. You
didn't get M&S?
I didn't get M&S?
No.
I didn't get Iceland.
Stop.
Guys, I applied for...
Stop.
One thing about me is I tell people all the time, there's nothing I'm not willing to do.
Yes.
We was talking offline. I was telling you the places I go to.
Yes.
Like, I am down and gritty with it. Like, what, the generator is off, I'm going to turn that on. We've got things to do.
Yes.
Like, there's no job that I'm not willing to do. There's nothing. If I'm asking you to do it, I'm willing to do it, or I've done it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like, with that all being said, I've acclimatized, and sometimes it's good to see that. Like, it's good to, I feel like sometimes God leaves you to get to the end of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, he will leave you. And like, so also as a firstborn as well, like, sometimes you feel like, like, you're a firstborn, and because of that, you end up raising your other siblings to a degree.
Absolutely.
You end up taking that responsibility of what it is to be a leader. But even the leader needs direction. Even the leader needs to be led. So just learning that there's actually somebody who knew about me before I was conceived and had a plan for me. So let me just relax and see what that plan is.
But it hasn't been easy though.
It's not been easy, but we're doing it a day at a time.
You know, you're doing it, and you're just doing it scared, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not necessarily scared, but it's just like, you know what, God, I've seen it already.
Yeah.
I've experienced it already. So let's try it your way.
Yeah.
So my next question would be like, if you were to walk into a room, it could be in Lagos, London, Dubai even. What have you discovered about yourself before launching Imaulé?
What have I discovered? Like, nothing. It's just not that deep, man. Like the things that we carry and we add substance to are meaningless. Like, I'm the same across the board. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I just be like, be who God has destined you to be. Be the same. Treat everyone the same.
Yes.
Truly, like,
I know you've spoken about genuinely disliking classism and just that being, I guess, a bone of contention for you. And I guess this time around, being in Nigeria, but not being here for like business, well, being here for business purposes, but really getting down and dirty with Nigerian life and like working here. Have you seen classism in a different way that has just made you be like, you know what, I really want what Imaulé stands for to kind of show people or kind of get rid of classism in a way?
Do you know what it is? There's two ways to look at this, right?
Okay.
There's one way which is like, my prices are classist.
Yes. Okay.
See what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
let me keep it real because someone is going to identify that in the comments.
Wouldn't you say that is because you're trying to do things in an ethical way?
Yeah, it is because of that.
Okay.
But I need to, before someone thinks they're smart, my prices are classist. But I'm not classist in the way that I employ or the way I look out for people or like the staff that work for me. And like I chill with my staff's children. Like they're like, we're a family at this point. Like they're family to me.
Yeah.
And I treat them as such. But I don't understand. Nigerians are, we're a strange group of people. And I say it to people all the time. I grew up in Brixton.
Yes.
Like, I'm from Brixton. Like, when...
Do you know, I think we need to break down what it means to grow up in Brixton, because obviously people hear that, okay, yeah, we're from London, so they think, oh yeah, you're probably used to the life of luxury. But please break it down to them.
I grew up in Brixton when Brixton was Baghdad. Brixton used to be called Baghdad Frontline. There used to be a Morley's in Brixton. And McDonald's, like, those were the spots. Baghdad, Frontline. Like, Brixton was so bad, it was a war zone. That's why they called it Baghdad and Frontline. That's where I grew up. Do you know what I mean? I grew up seeing people get stabbed. Like, they
think it's a joke.
Yeah, like, it's like, my eyes are desensitized. Like, I've seen so much. And, like, so when I come to Lagos and I see people do things, I'm just like, don't do that around me. You know? Like, that's enough for me to not be your friend because of the way you treat people. Do you know what? Do you know what irks me about Lagos? Do you know who I am?
Oh.
Do you know who I am? Who are you? No, but in the grand scheme of things, who are you? Beyond your teeny weeny little circle, who are you? And even at that, who are you? So and I guess like Lagos nurtures you to be like that.
Yeah.
Like the whole madam thing, it nurtures you to feel like you are more than you are. And if you let it get to you, there is always somebody that's gonna humble you. Even the person that's saying who are you, he has somebody that he kneels down to.
Absolutely.
So what are we really talking about? Who are we in the grand scheme of things? So yeah, I was born in Brixton. There's some things that people do out here. And I'm just like, that's interesting. Because where I came from, they don't do this stuff.
We don't do stuff like that. We actually don't do stuff like that.
Like, even stuff like when I hear, like, people embezzling money or, like, deals, I'm just thinking, you see, if you did that in London, people will run up in your mummy's house.
What?
People will run up to your mummy's house.
What?
Like, you can't steal somebody's money.
The mum's house is even okay because that's even small, closed environment. They will go to your mum's church. They will go to your mum's church.
The way I was growing up, like, you will hear that, like, but because in Lagos, I guess the elite, they're hiding behind security. I tell people all the time that it's because of your security that you think.
Listen, let them catch you slipping in Brixton Market. Let them catch you slipping in London.
But we thank God for these experiences, man.
For real.
They really do mold us.
That's really interesting. So how would you say that with your experience now, like, what are you personally doing to say, okay, you know what, I want to show love to everybody, like, and how are you also keeping boundaries as well?
Boundaries.
In this season?
Boundaries, I just pray for discernment. Like I told you, I was having a quick conversation with the Holy Spirit first, right?
Yes.
So I might take pause. I take pauses a lot.
Yes.
Boundaries, discernment, and like, I think I'm just learning to just give freely. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really scared to share things. Like, I'm not really like, I don't believe in gatekeeping opportunities.
I said this the other day when I was just like, one thing I like about you is you're not a gatekeeper.
At all.
Like, you give information free. In fact, not that you give information freely, but you actually take the time to understand what the person is talking about and then be like, okay, do it this way, do it that way, do it that way. And how have you been able to grow as that person where you don't gatekeep? Because again, in the places that you've been, the people that you know as well, it's probably one of those things where you're just like, I'm on top of the world right now. I don't want anybody else to experience this, but you're not like that. So what did you have to do to build yourself?
Am I crazy to be gatekeeping? Do you know, like, gatekeeping, it's the mindset in itself, is actually worrisome, because the fact that you even believe that you are enough to hold the gate is crazy.
No, but there are a lot of people like that. A lot of that, they don't want to bring people to come and eat with them on the table. It's just like, I want this all for myself.
That's crazy work. Like, I can never understand. How can I hold the gate? I didn't build the door. Like, God is the one that gives us everything. So if he takes it all, then there's nothing for me to gatekeep.
But some people, they don't understand it like that.
Well, I hope you don't find out. But like, it's better for everyone to be put on. Like, there's enough. There's more.
No,
like,
there's more than enough.
And if you're great at something, why not open the door? Like, if anything, if you're on a praise kink, right, and kink, like, praise is your kink.
Yes.
If I bring you in, it looks better on me anyways.
Yeah.
If that's your kink, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But you can see that I'm bamboozled.
Yes,
like, I just genuinely do.
I can see.
Like, I'm so, if you ask me for someone's number, like, okay, look, I do this to the extent that my friends have kind of had enough, because if I find out, right, that for example, we've used this podcast studio,
yes.
If I find out that my friend's looking for a podcast, and I have the number of the podcast studio, the person that owns it, I'm putting them both in a WhatsApp chat
and
now,
saying,
and I'm like, hey, by the way, this person does this person does, and I leave the chat.
So have you seen people trying to gatekeep? I mean, whilst you've been in Lagos this time around, and how have you reacted to that? Or have you been able to pull them up and be like,
No, I don't pull people up about gatekeeping at all. I don't, unless we're close.
Yeah.
Unless we're really, really close and I see them do it to someone else, I'll be like, why what's wrong with you?
That?
Like, but like, no, I don't, because God is going to open doors. Like, whatever door you try to close, if God says I'm going to enter it, he's going to literally sack everybody in accordance with that gatekeeping to just ensure that I walk through. I gracefully walk through.
Has anyone tried to gatekeep from you this time around that you've been in Lagos?
And I have people try to gatekeep.
Yeah, from you, as in, like, have they tried to not put you? Really?
Yeah. But that's okay though.
How have you done?
Because it's just not. Because I'm okay with it, because I know that, like, you're not doing, like, the fact that you try to gatekeep from me, it doesn't mean anything, because God is still going to do what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's still sovereign. So I'll see, like, that thing that you've tried to
keep away from me.
If God says I'm supposed to get it,
then I'm going to do it.
Exactly. So it's just not the right time. And it's not even a gate. I don't even see it as gatekeeping. I just see it as, this is not the right time. Yeah.
So what one of the things that you've done to keep yourself sane, like, through this whole process? Because again, you came and you got right down to it, and like you said, like, you really haven't had time to sit and literally take stock and think to yourself and really, like, do like an assessment of what's been going on this last 4 or 5 months. But what's been keeping you sane? Like, what's been keeping your head above water?
All glory to my friends and family, man, and God, because, like, one thing I tell people all the time, that God has blessed me with the best community. Like, my friends and my family are just, like, they're just the best set of people, and I just can't wait to be able to reward them abundantly. Like, I can't wait to be able to just think about the things that they desire. Like, God dropped something in my heart, like, oh, my friend's having a bad day, let me book her a flight to here. Like, I can't wait until God gives me the financial capacity to be able to show them how much I love them. But, like, if I'm sad, trust me, I'll go back to my phone right now. If I was sad and I'll see a text, I'll see a voice note or I'll see a call, and I got one literally right before we started. Like literally, and it's just like, I'm just so loved, and I feel so loved by the people that like, I've just had an abundance of love from the people in my life. It's just indescribable. I'm so grateful to every single one of them that have made this journey.
Absolutely. And as a firstborn daughter, I know that sometimes it can be hard accepting help from other people. Or just like allowing people to just be there for you. But what's one of the things that you've had to unlearn to be able to do that and to really embrace your community, that they keep showing up for you and that you keep accepting their love as well?
Life was not meant to be lived alone. And like the fact that God has blessed me with all of these people that I have access to, like there's a reason for that. And like sometimes we're asking, oh God, please, like but God has already answered your prayers in form of people. God is always going to use people to answer your prayers. So like I think just that, and like I've really just become a baby girl to God. Like I'm really just like, you know what, like I'm about to be a daddy's girl. Like, I think God just looks at me and rolls his eyes. Like, I have videos crying. Like, God, this is not working out. Do you want me to go to... I keep telling my friends, like, okay, let me even say it to the camera, right? I'm trying this God thing, right? I'm trying it like I've never tried it before. Don't make me your mantle. Don't make me your case study. Because I've been saying to all my friends and family, I take things seriously. So I take God very seriously. God, please don't let me enter prostitution because I'm going to do it well. Please do not let me enter prostitution because I'm going to do it well. And I'm not going to shy away from it. If I'm into that line of work, you will know that I'm into it. I will tell you that this is the line of work that we're into now. We're into prostitution. And that's how we're making a living. By God's grace, it won't get to that. By God's grace, we'll be on the straight or narrow. By God's grace, Imaulé will do what it needs to do. But you guys should shop Imaulé, please, so I don't end up in prostitution.
Shop Imaulé.
But I say that.
Are you into prostitution?
Not yet.
I didn't know you were into prostitution.
Not yet. It's not a line of work I've dabbled into yet. And by God's grace, it won't get to the yet. But I say that to say, like, I'm so real. Like, even like when people talk to me about stuff, I'm just like, if you know that this is the line of work that we're into, let's do this line of work well. Let's do it well. Let's do it with excellence. Let's do it with excellence. Whatever line of work that you're in, do it with excellence. Do it with excellence. Like, just do the work you're in with excellence. And I feel like God always honors that. So just basically, to bring it back home to your question, I think it's just super important to do the things that you do well, to allow help from people that God has blessed you, people who God has put people in your circumference, is to help you, is to aid you, and just allow God be God in your life, man. Stop hustling. You don't know nothing. I don't know nothing right now. I'm making it up. I'm making it all up.
You're speaking from the spirit. You're not making it up. You're speaking from the spirit.
But yeah.
So if there was one thing, I know we've spoken about a lot, and I really hope that people are able to pick out, because I'm picking out lots of gems from this, but just one thing that you wanted people to take away, different from everything else that you said, what would it be?
I wrote about this in my journal. I wrote about this in my journal. I think in 2023, I was writing about, God, I just want to wear pretty dresses and speak on podcasts about how great you are.
Wow.
And here I am.
Wow.
So just like when God puts things in your mind, and like when God drops these thoughts, keep record. Keeping record is so important. Like, journal, video entries, keep record, because it's so easy to find yourself in the storm and think to yourself, bro, like, where is God? Where is God? Can't see you. But that's because you have no record. You don't remember. Like, and also, like, life is full of regular Tuesdays. A lot of the time we acclimatize up onto like these big successes, wedding days, bought a car, launched a business. But like, life is full of regular days like this, regular Tuesdays, and you need to learn to love the regular Tuesdays. You need to learn to be happy and content with a regular Tuesday. I think these are the things that I would leave people with, and just trust God. Like, trust God, not yourself, not your titles, not who you think you are. Trust God.
Okay. And to round it up, I know you do like lots of video entries and journalings. I would like you to speak into the camera, right, to the future Aminat.
God.
And say something to your future self. Say something about the legacies you're building, about the labor that you're putting in, about how, just being the firstborn has really shaped you into this phenomenal woman who is building legacies that are definitely going to outlast her.
Amen.
More than just one. And yeah, kind of like a little hi to yourself in the future.
This is so scary. I was supposed
Do it scared.
God. First of all, I hope you're not this shy.
Mm.
I hope you're not this shy. I hope God has used you to transform the lives of many people.
And he is.
I hope that Imaulé is doing really well. I hope that she's in multiple cities. South Beach, Miami,
Yeah.
Cannes, Abu Dhabi, Ikoyi in Nigeria, and Sloane Square, Duke of York Street. I pray that she's either had a pop-up there or she has a storefront there. I pray that we're doing a lot of work from the scholarship point of view. I pray that we've been able to set the foundations for some sort of creative school for people across the continent of Africa. I pray that Imaulé is doing well globally. I pray that we're doing really well financially. And I pray that people know who you are, most importantly, because of everything that you've done with Imaulé.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this wonderful episode of Legacy and Labour. I'm your host, Agnes Yoande, and this is A Linen Summer with Aminat Sule.